In this video, I'm going to be summarising chapter 8 from this book called Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. Now this book's about 21 great ways to stop procrastinating and get more done in less time. Now if you haven't watched my previous video where I summarised chapter 7 from this book, then make sure you go ahead and do that first by clicking here. In addition to that, if you want to pick yourself up a copy of this book so you can follow along with each chapter, then I've also left a link in the video description box down below. With that said, let's get straight to it. So chapter 8 is all about applying the law of 3. Now most of the value that you contribute to your business or organisation revolves around 3 core tasks that you perform. So your job is to find out what these 3 tasks are and then only focus on those tasks. Now that sounds simple enough, but how do you know what those 3 core tasks are? Well, within this chapter, that's the exact thing that Brian Tracy shares with us by sharing a story from a lady named Cynthia who attended one of his coaching sessions. In short, a lady named Cynthia was told that she could double her income within the next 12 months. So Brian Tracy asked her to write down everything she did over a weekly and monthly period. And it turned out that she was responsible for 17 tasks. But the issue is that she was working really long hours, so she didn't really have much of a home life. So she wasn't really spending time with her family. So overall, her quality of life wasn't that great. So after she made that list, Brian Tracy then asked her to ask herself this question. If you could do only one thing on that list all day long, what one task would have the greatest contribution to your organization or to your company? After identifying that task, he then asked her, if you could do only one more thing on your list of key tasks, what would that thing be that's going to contribute the most amount of value to your company or organization? And after identifying the second key task, he then asked her the same question, but to pick a third thing. So what would be the third thing that you would pick that would contribute, the third key task that you would pick that would contribute the most value to your company or organization? And after she wrote down the third thing, he then said to her, 90% of your value that you bring to your company or organization is found within those 3 key tasks. And everything else is either a support task or a complementary task that could either be outsourced, delegated, or just eliminated altogether. And after analysing these 3 key tasks, she agreed. So what she done is she took this newly discovered information to her boss and told him that, look, these are the 3 tasks that are contributing the most amount of value to the company, and the rest of the things essentially need to be delegated. So she said to her boss that if she could work exclusively on these 3 key tasks and have aid and get help from her boss to be able to delegate the rest of the tasks, she'd be able to double her contribution to the company, and in return she would double the pay. And as a result, he agreed, and he said that I will help you delegate the other tasks, and if you're able to double your contribution to the company, I'd agree to pay you double. And then she concluded by saying he did, then she did, then he did. And as a result, she said that she now works 9 hours a day, whereas previously she was working 10 to 12 hours a day. And now she gets to spend a lot more time with her family because she focuses only on those 3 core tasks while at work. So the results that you get in life are in direct proportion to the amount of value that you provide. So if you want more results, provide more value and focus on those 3 core tasks. Now before we move on, my name's Luke and this channel is all about personal development, and I'll be sharing the things I've learned and continuously learn. So if you enjoy content around trying to improve yourself, overall personal development, then make sure you hit that subscribe button. Now the next thing that Brian Tracy mentions within this chapter is something called the quick list method, which is an exercise where you take a piece of paper and within 30 seconds, you write down the 3 most important goals within your life right now. Now, the reason why you're only given 30 seconds to write down your 3 most important goals in your life right now is because of something that's mentioned in the book, which is we have found that when people have only 30 seconds to write their 3 most important goals, Their answers are as accurate as if they had 30 minutes or 3 hours. Their subconscious minds seem to go into a form of hyperdrive, and their 3 most important goals pop out of their heads and onto the paper, often to the surprise of the people doing the exercise. Now, the most common goals that people have are, number 1, it's their career and finances. Number 2 is family and relationships. And number 3 is a health and fitness goal. And the reason why Brian Tracy says these are the most common goals is because these are the most important areas within a person's life. This exercise is then expanded by asking the following questions, which I'm going to read from the book. Number 1, what are your 3 most important business or career goals right now? Number 2, what are your 3 most important family or relationship goals right now? Number 3, what are your 3 most important financial goals right now? The 4th thing, what are your 3 most important health goals right now? The 5th thing, what are your 3 most important personal and professional development goals right now? The 6th thing, what are your 3 most important social and community goals right now? The 7th thing, what are your 3 biggest problems or concerns in life right now? And Brian Tracy says that whatever your answers are to the questions, it's normally an accurate snapshot of your current situation in life right now. And Brian Tracy also says that while setting goals and having priorities and getting your most important task done first and working on your A tasks, and if you have more than one, A1, A2, A3, while all these things are very important, you must never forget that your ultimate goal is to live a long, happy and healthy life. So the main reason to develop time management skills is so you can complete everything that's really important to you within your work life. So that way you can free up more time within your personal life to enjoy the things that you get the most pleasure from, that bring you the most happiness and satisfaction. And to keep life in balance, you should decide to work all the time you work. So when you go to work, put your head down and work. That's the only thing that you should be doing. Don't distract yourself with anything else, because other things that you distract yourself with, all it's going to do is take time away from your personal time, because you're constantly going to be trying to catch up. So when you're working, only work. And the worst thing about it is time that you waste while you're supposed to be working often has to be made up in your personal time, which normally comes out of your leisure time and family time. So by not working effectively and efficiently during work hours, all you're going to do is bring that stress into your personal life, which doesn't only put pressure on you, but it also puts pressure on those people around you because you're stressed out. So you need balance between your work life and personal life. As important as it is for you to set priorities and to work on your most important task, at the same time, you must never forget that the reason why you're working so effectively is so you can enjoy a higher quality of life. So work hard, perform the best you can, but always remember to smell the flowers along the way, as Brian Tracy says within his book. In other words, whatever it is you're doing, make sure you enjoy the journey. Now, as a little side note, applying the law of 3 reminds me a lot of the 80-20 rule, which is also known as the Pareto principle or the vital few. And the reason why is because with the 80-20 rule, you're trying to find out the 20% of activities that you're doing that's producing 80% of your results. The same with going through all of your most important things that you do and then narrowing it down to those three main tasks. So it reminds me of the 80-20 rule. That's my point. With that said, if you want to know what I personally do to overcome self-doubt, then make sure you click here where I shot a video on that exact topic called How to Overcome Self-Doubt.